Okay, this is rational numbers 1.5. So rational number operations. So again, just reviewing what a rational number is. Who can tell us? Jesse, nice and loud. We just talked about it. Rational number, what is that?
Fraction?
Yeah, a fraction. Basically, we're dealing with one number divided by another, or quotient. That's typically a rational number. Although we do know, and we just talked about that, whole numbers can be considered rational numbers if they're divided by 1. Okay? All right, so we're going to be talking about some number operations with rational numbers. So the first question we look at in the textbook says, what is the Celsius temperature equivalent to negative 5.5 degrees Fahrenheit? This is a common problem that we get between Canada and the States. If you're in the States, they go by Fahrenheit, we go by Celsius. So if it's negative 5.5 in Fahrenheit, we want to know what it is in Celsius. So there's this equation that we can use, which is here. Which is here, where we plug in the value of Fahrenheit. Alright, so if we do that, we plug in the value of Fahrenheit, and now we want to calculate. Let's say we want to use rational numbers and rational operations, so we're going to work this out. First of all, I want to convert the decimal to a fraction, so I change the 0.5 to 1/2, so 1/2. Then I change my mixed number to an irregular fraction. So I'm multiplying the 5 times the 2, which is 10 plus 1 gives me 11. So we have 11/2. Now I need to subtract these two numbers. I need to convert this to a fraction, so I put it over 1. And then I need to find a common denominator, so I multiply this by 2. So I get 64/2. So I'm left with negative 11/2 minus 64/2. Again, when you add or subtract fractions, you only deal with the numerator. The denominator stays the same. So negative 11 minus 64 is negative 75. Again, whether I put that negative sign in front or I put it on the numerator, either way it's interchangeable. We need to know that it can only apply to the numerator or in front or to the denominator all separately. It can't apply to both. I like to keep it always either in front or with the numerator. Never put it with the denominator. If you do see it with the denominator, which I'm going to show you over here in a minute, you're going to want to take that out of the denominator and just move it up to the numerator. You're allowed to do that because they're the same. These are actually the same. Remember, 2 over negative 3 is equal to negative 2 over 3. Those are the same thing. They're interchangeable. You want to keep the negative sign in the numerator. It just makes your calculations that much easier. All right, so now we have 5/9. Remember, when you have a number in front of a bracket, it's multiplication. It's implied. So you're just going to multiply the numerators and the denominators. So 5 times 75 is negative 375 over 18, which is 9 times 2. And now we reduce that to mixed number. We're left with negative 20/56. It's important that you guys understand how to do this. However, there is a shortcut. A very quick shortcut. Matthew?
I was wondering, when you subtracted 11/2 minus 64/2, how did you get to 75?
Okay, so negative 11, so you already have a negative number. Now you're taking away more. So you're going, if you think of a number line, right? You have 0 over here. You're at negative 11 already. Now you're taking away 64, so you're moving further in this direction. So you're actually kind of adding 64 to 11 in the negative direction. Okay? Or just use your calculator and put in negative 11 minus 64. You'll get minus 75. Okay? Which leads me to the shortcut. Now, most of you, I want you to be able to use your calculator quickly and comfortably. And as you move to more advanced mathematics, you're going to be able to do this. So, get comfortable with punching this whole equation directly into your calculator. If you can't do that right now, in 1 second, punch this in and get this answer, then you don't know how to use your calculator properly. Okay, we need to figure that out now. Because all of this, when you're in grade 11 and grade 12, you're not going to have time to do all this. You're going to have time to do this. And that's all you should have to do. Bed mass is taken care of in your calculator. It's important to note that although you can do this, you need to understand these principles, because later, with more advanced math, you'll need to do this stuff with more complicated equations. Yes, Jesse?
How do you do 5/9?
So 5/9. So in your calculator, you would type this in. 5 this button. It's your fraction button. If you don't have that button, you should get a new calculator. 9, bracket again. That's it. Oh, sorry, there's a, no, you probably don't need that multiplication sign there. The brackets will know. Okay, any questions? And it might give you this number, or it might give you the number as a fraction, like this. Okay, it might show you this, minus 20, this sign. Okay, that on your calculator is the same as that. Okay, and you should be able to convert between decimal and fraction display by pressing this number again, this button. Okay, so get familiar with that button. It's very useful, especially when we're dealing with rational numbers.
Is there a square bracket on the calculator? Or does it
No,
matter?
it doesn't matter. There's no square bracket. You gotta use just another.
I got
Yeah.
it wrong.
If you don't have this button, this is what you can do, okay? If you don't have this button to do this equation, you could have done this. 5 divided by 9 in brackets, and then bracket.
Oh,
Okay, if you don't have that fraction button, you can use the division. Just it needs to be in brackets. Okay? All right, we're gonna stop there. Stop the video.